Smarter lighting keeps your data local. I'm Tonya Hall for ZDNet and Tech Republic, and joining me is Colin Billings. He is the founder and CEO of Orro. Welcome, Colin.
Thanks for having me, Tonya.
So what does Orro do, and what motivated you to found the company?
Orro is a new lighting control for your home. It replaces any light switch in your house, and it really does two things. First, it allows you to never think about your lights again because it can detect your presence, learn your lighting preferences throughout the day, and just make sure that it's controlling your lights however you're using your house. But then also upgrades any room in your house to be ready for the future because the Orro switch is much more like an iPhone or a smartphone than it is a light switch. And I got interested in lighting particularly because of an experience with sleep that I had about 3.5 years ago. I was having difficulty sleeping. I got recommended an application for my computer called Flux, which adjusts the brightness and color temperature of your screen depending on the time of day that it is and where you are in the world. And about 7 days later, I was sleeping better. And that started a love affair for me with how light affects our health, and brought me to looking at how we can make lighting in our homes much better than they are today.
So will Orro work with any kind of light bulb?
Orro works for the existing lights in your home, whether that's incandescent, LED. We recommend that you replace CFLs because those are unhealthy for you. But really, most light bulbs that you'll find in your house work with Orro.
Lots of companies make it possible to adjust the light color and intensity of their devices, like your phones, the time of day, ambient levels, that sort of thing. What makes the technology behind Orro different?
I think it's really moving to a world where your lights seamlessly respond to you. So every day you would adjust the light normally about 50 times a day in your home. And that's because the light changes throughout the day and your needs, depending on what you're doing, also change. Orro really takes that to a level where you no longer have to think about it again. It uses a set of sensors to understand your presence and activity in different spaces. It makes memories based on how you're adjusting lights over time so that when it sees those patterns again, it can just adjust the lights for you automatically.
So what technology hurdles did you have to overcome to make this product viable? And what technology hurdles, if you will, still exist for IoT manufacturers?
I think the biggest hurdles we had to come with was figuring out how to pack all of this into a seamless replacement for a light switch. So we really didn't want people to have big screens on their walls or have to do any type of construction. We wanted it to be a seamless retrofit. So we had to basically take all the components that you would normally find in a cell phone in many ways, a computer, touchscreen, and everything else, and figure out a way to fit that into the same form factor. I think in terms of IoT or the industry, probably one of the biggest challenges we have over time is to sort of figure out how to make the devices themselves more and more smart so that we rely less on the cloud and those networks for making these experiences really smart themselves. I think the two reasons why that's important, one is obviously privacy and security. The more things that happen locally, the less you have to worry about that information, how sensitive it may be, and who and where is it going. And two is reliability. When the information is processed locally on an Orro switch, it's able to make decisions about adjusting your lights without relying on anything else. And that means that lights are turning on instantaneously as you walk into a room. They're turning off very soon after you leave. And that doesn't matter whether or not your Wi-Fi is working today.
Let's talk about that. You mentioned privacy and security. What are you doing to manage data privacy, and what are you doing to protect the fact that somebody might be able to, I don't know, hack in and collect my data when I'm home? What kind of usage patterns I have?
So the way we really tackle that is by focusing on sort of local processing. So everything that an Orro switch senses about its environment lives and stays on the device itself. And so that means that you're not really getting things like we've seen with other devices where you have audio files leaving the device or video files that are leaving the device. All of that happens locally on the Orro switch. So literally you can remove your internet connection from your home and the Orro switch will do exactly what it's done, the previously until the next 10 years that you live in your home. And so that's really, the first big step. The second step is, working to make sure that everything that does happen around communications, whether that's remote control or anything that maybe you integrate your Orro switch with, talk in a secure way. And that's done through, sort of standard security and authorization that you would expect from, any device that's doing the job appropriately.
What does the future look like? What are some of the best ways that IoT devices can be protected from cyber threats in the future?
I think, anything that has, the ability or high, popularity is going to become somewhat of a threat to somebody looking to do something nefarious. So I think it's all about reducing the areas where someone can attack your system or where the vulnerabilities lie. Step one is make sure you're always updating and using the latest security patches. We saw sort of recent stuff around Wi-Fi, and making sure that you step forward and do those updates very quickly is going to be a great improvement to the security of any system. I think the big thing that we are really excited about is that as the cost of processing and sort of the what it takes to do a lot of these things become lower and lower, and you can actually integrate them in more places at the edge of the network, then you have just less sort of need for network transmission to deliver on the experience. And that localization is going to lead to greater privacy and less vulnerabilities.
Colin Billings, founder and CEO of Orro. If somebody wants to find out more about this technology, how can they go about doing that?
You can find out more about Orro at getorro.com, or you can follow me on Twitter at Colin Billings.
Sounds good. And if you guys want to find more of my interviews, you can do that right here on ZDNet or Tech Republic, or go to my website, tonyahall.net. I've got links to all my social sites. Thanks for watching.